Okay, so I got my phone going and I got project going.
All right, Brandon, good to see you, man. Thanks for the time. And
Yeah, no problem.
one thing that's fun about the pod that I like to enjoy is digging into the highlights and lowlights of one's time on the road because some of these things, you know, you do the miles and you do the gigs, and the gigs doing the gigs is like the very most normal part of it all, but it's the things that happen between gigs, that are the weirdest things that you could possibly imagine. And
Yeah.
do you have like a weird moment in mind on the road that comes to you where you maybe felt like you were in an alternate dimension or an alien planet?
I mean, yeah. I think I think there's more than I can remember, honestly. I think if you're just out in the world long enough and you're sleep deprived enough, they just keep coming.
Yeah.
Um, but one in particular, this one just has always stuck with me, but we were ending like an early tour, and it was the middle of summer, and the last show was I think it was in Athens, Ohio. And we had nowhere to stay. So we end up staying with these people that we meet at like midnight probably, and they take us out drinking. And we stay up drinking with them until like 3 or 4 in the morning. But as it gets later, we realize that, they're kind of strange. They're a bit off, maybe. Um, but, you know, it gets to a point where there's no exit strategy because every single motel is closed at this point and
Gotta have
everyone
an
else
exit
we knew went
strategy.
to bed. I know. So then we're like, this is weird, but we're gonna stay with them. And we get to their house and it's basically just like bare mattresses everywhere and cat
Classic.
shit.
Oh God,
Just
yeah.
cat shit like everywhere.
Like loose cat shit, not even in litter
Loose cat
boxes.
shit.
Yeah.
Loose cat shit, like 10 cats. And then I think we kind of realized that it was a crack house,
Yeah, yeah,
but it
nice.
was it was too late to leave, so and it was like 100 degrees, so I sleep on this mattress and I'm like, I can't tell which in my mind I'm like, this isn't wet. It's just the humidity is so intense that everything feels wet. And then we wake up in the morning and it turns out that the mattress is actually just soaked in cat piss.
Solid.
So
Nice.
we all wake up smelling like cat piss and cat shit. I'm soggy with cat pee pee. It's the last show of tour, so we get into the car and we drive 12 hours home, reeking of poo poo and pee pee.
Was this like an early tour? Have things since improved?
Yes. Yeah, this was an early tour.
Were these folks like
Um,
were they fans of your band or were they just like bystanders?
no, no, they just like it was happenstance.
Oh, that's
They were
good.
just
I mean,
around.
I feel like if they would have been like big fans of yours, that things might have been probably a lot worse, Like you would
Yeah,
like wake up and
true.
on the cat piss bed and like the local man would just be standing over you breathing heavily or something.
Exactly. Yeah, Florida man in Ohio vibe.
Yeah, I mean, I would say Ohio is probably the second most Florida state there is, in this country.
That's true. Yeah,
What do you
there
think's the
has to be an Ohio man.
Yeah,
You
it's just
know,
like it's
everyone
just
talks about the Florida man, but
diet Florida, Florida Light,
yeah,
Aldi, Florida.
dude. But it's been funny in recent years. I've come around to Florida and Ohio.
I think they're two of the most awesome states that exist, especially for rock and roll. I think states like Ohio, Florida,
Yeah.
they're not, if we're sweeping with a wide brush, they're not like pretentious places. It's not like playing in Brooklyn or
No.
on the coast. It's just like good, hard working, blue collar people and like a lot of weirdos per capita, which I think is really important.
Yes.
I want to go to the weirdest states. That's what my routing suggests. So what do
Yeah.
you think are the weirdest states outside of Florida and
The
Ohio?
weirdest states. Man. Um,
Alaska,
I
Illinois is
mean,
weird in a terrible way. Uh,
yeah. Wow. Oh my God. Yes. We played a show in like rural Illinois. Again, this was like an early tour. And I it was like a phase of the band where we would take any show anywhere. I was just trying to like create a routing. I
yep.
was booking all the tours. And it was this I had no context going in, but it was essentially like a dry bar in the middle of like a corn town.
A bar with no
Um,
booze?
yeah, but I get the sense most of the people there were fresh, like freshly sober because
Oh.
everyone had like the giant vapes, like
Okay,
was
yep.
ripping the giant vape and slugging Red Bulls,
Oh God. Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
crazy. And we played and then the stage, it had three different levels, only large enough for each member. So we're on just this like staircase stage.
Like an
We played
Olympic
the
first place, second place, third place.
exactly, and we played to five people.
Solid. You
Um,
remember the name of the town?
no,
I think
this
Illinois when
is
you
like
get
years and years ago.
it's like this cocktail of like 24/7 highway construction, super abundance of billboards advertising just pummeling you in the face and like just like way over the quota of like churches per capita and I think that's like the cocktail for just strangeness. It's like
Yeah,
it's then like the most fast food and the least vegetables per state, so maybe that's got something to do with it.
yeah.
We stopped at a at
Where?
a oh, hey, do you have a TV on in the background? Or am I here? I'm just hearing this little
No.
fuzzy. Oh, that must be from the outside world. That may be on my end. Um,
Yeah, that.
but we stopped at a Wendy's once in Illinois on the way to somewhere, and this little nice old lady, came up to us, and she was just so cute and sweet, and she had thick glasses and like a cute little sweater, polka dot sweater, and she kind of hobbled up to us, and she's like, "Hi, how are you? Thank you for coming to Illinois. So nice to see you. I just want to share some information with you." And she handed us these little cartoon handheld comic books, and they were all like, God hates fags. You're all going to
Oh my
hell. If
God.
you have sex, you're all going to hell. And it was like this hardcore evangelical like propaganda. It was
Dude,
quite unbelievable.
the evangelist.
Yeah.
Why? What is that guy that's like Basta, Basta, Basta?
Who is that?
He's like the mega church guy,
Oh,
evangelist. He sells like end of the world buckets of food that you
nice.
eat the food and then you can shit in the bucket.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Like hundreds of dollars. That is a world.
Let's get him on the podcast. That'd be
I know.
incredible.
But I mean, that's the thing. It's hard to pick a state because I feel like the entire states, there's just freakiness everywhere. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
even always like the little forgotten corners. Like, I feel like sometimes Los Angeles freaks me out more than
Oh,
Nebraska.
oh yeah.
They're like it's just different brands of yeah,
Yeah, I was going for a jog.
vision.
Last time I was in LA, I was going for a jog in the morning. I had my short shorts on, Just a nice, sunny day in LA, and I'm jogging down the sidewalk, and in the distance, I see this, this homeless guy. He looks like he's got a cool wizard beard. He's far away, so I can't really make out his features, but he's like kind of like twitching around and walking kind of angrily down the sidewalk. And as I get closer, he makes eye contact with me, and he's got like three teeth, and he charges at me, and he says something like, you want to live in a world where blah, and then he was like on the verge of shoving me into traffic. He was having like an
Yeah.
episode, and I was like, holy shit, look over there. And I, at mid jog, I like distracted him and like swerved around him. But it was almost as if Hollywood had planted him there. Like he looked so perfectly scary. It was like
Yeah.
I'm getting punked. Like where's the
Well,
camera? But
that's
yeah,
the weird thing about Hollywood, or just, yeah, LA too. I really feel like there is that melding of reality and fiction, you know? Um,
is LA just the opposite of reality?
it's like City of Lost Souls or something.
The land
Um,
of shattered dreams for sure.
yeah, but I love it too. I don't know.
Is that where you live?
No, I live in I split time between Western Mass and London.
Okay, cool. What
Yeah.
got you over to London?
My girlfriend lives over here.
Okay, nice. That's where you are right now?
Yeah. hmm
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. Well, what was the point, Brandon, in the band where you kind of, got on the rocket ship, so to speak, and like things started to get better and less grungy?
Yeah. I think by 2018, that was sort of when I mean, things were picking up in 2017, and we kind of had a couple like lucky breaks in Europe before that, but 2018 was like our first run of like sold out headlines, you know, club rooms getting bigger and some of our records sort of getting some attention and taking off a bit more.
What were the breaks?
We got really lucky. We got this huge like European festival tour really early on.
Mm-hmm.
Like this French agent just found us on the internet out of the blue.
Whoa.
And really before anyone knew who we were, gave a shit. And he's like, I want to book you this festival tour. And I was really skeptical because I was like, how did you even find us? So I was just like, all right, well, we can't finance anything, we can't pay for anything. Like, if you want to figure it out, go for it. And he did. And it's like, before that tour, the most people we played to are like 500 people. And then for 2.5 months, we were like playing to 3,000 people at festivals every day.
Wow.
And it was just like, it was, yeah, it was boot camp, one. And then two, we came away from it with enough money to start a record label, record our album, hire a team to work it, and sort of just like start the band
Wow.
in earnest. So yeah, it was just really bizarre. And it was all sort of like it wouldn't have happened without the French government because they subsidize the music industry. So we're getting placed on these festivals that if they were festivals in the States, they wouldn't put a new band like us on these big slots with these
Yeah.
big guarantees because they want to just maximize how much
Right.
money they can make.
Sure.
So we're like weirdly indebted to France.
Yeah. Wow. And
Yeah,
and this French dude, what a legend. He's like the
he is
godfather of Wundabar.
exactly, exactly. He's French daddy.
And were these all festivals in France, or were they all over Europe?
It's like France, Belgium, Switzerland, and Luxembourg.
Nice. Yeah. Luxembourg. That's a great place.
Yeah,
Castles,
crazy
castles
one.
and money.
Yeah, that's it.
What about like worst road meals? Does anything come to mind as far as like horrifying things you've put down your gullet or anything like that?
Oh man, let me think.
I mean, you're a little more immune to
I
that
mean,
in Europe.
yeah, yeah. Um, I mean that's the thing. Like, we've eaten a lot of shitty food, but I'm just trying to think of if there's any that's like noteworthy.
I mean, the food in London can't be worse than America or the England versus
No,
America.
no, I don't understand it, but like the States has pub food, but something about British pub food, it's just infinitely better. And
Yeah.
I don't really understand why. I'm like, this is the same thing, and yet,
Yeah, I mean, I've complained about this on the pod before, I think, but I think there's just like really bizarre things in the food in America that we don't know about because
yeah,
I get food crashes. I feel like every other meal I eat here, and in other places that just doesn't happen. So who knows what kind of strings like Monsanto is pulling behind the scenes or what kind of deals are being made where it's like, one handshake and a sign on the dotted line and you've got like polyphonics corn syrup in your bread forever now. Like the deal can't be undone.
yeah. I mean, yeah, it's a bit dodgy
Yeah,
over there.
yeah.
Um, but okay, I have a story. Gonna keep the line with the French daddy. Um, so we played a festival over there, and the promoter wasn't going to feed us, which for like French stuff, it's just like everyone gets fed.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like a problem if that's not happening. So our agent goes up to him and he's like, and we're like kids, so we're just sitting there like la la la. But our agent goes up to him and is like yelling at this guy in French, like berating him, and he ends it. He goes, "The fucking deal, man, is fucking money." Or what is it? He's like, "It's about fucking money, man."
The
And
is this your British agent?
our French agent,
Okay. He sounded British just then.
he shook this guy down, and he brings out this chicken curry, but the chicken was raw, so we just like were slurping down like
Whoa.
like slug texture,
Yeah.
uh, clumps of raw chicken,
What? So it was
and
like
I think
it was like a
that's
fuck
a
you kind
memorable
of
one.
thing?
It's hard to say, but it like the episode felt noteworthy to me.
Yeah. Man, yeah.
Um,
Well, good on your representative for showing some muscle, Sometimes you
the
have to do that.
shakedown,
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
yeah,
I hate confrontation. I'm like I want to avoid it at all costs. I want to be friends with the promoter. Even to my detriment sometimes. Even if they're a slime bag, it's like, oh, I just want everything to be okay. And I had a manager early on and at a show. The promoter came up to us and she was like, "Oh, sorry, we didn't budget the show well enough for the festival, and we're gonna have to pay you half of what we agreed upon." So it was like my I got my manager to come and shake this lady down, and I got to witness it. It felt pretty good. It was pretty neat. I'm too soft
yeah, that's
to
it.
do it myself.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's like an expectation of artists to not rock the boat.
Yeah.
If a manager does it, they're doing their job. If an artist does it, you're being a diva.
Yeah, and it's like oftentimes the artist is more often than not the artist is not holding all the cards, It's like there's a million bands in the world and everyone's kind of fighting for space on in clubs and festival slots and until you're to the point where I don't know where you guys are at. Maybe you're to that point where you're kind of holding the cards and you can kind of, once you're bringing, I don't know, 400 or 500 people plus to a club, then it's like, the tables turn a little bit, and the promoter starts to need you more than you need them, and that's a cool time when that happens.
Yeah, yeah, totally. Um, what was I gonna say?
Have you had any weird uh any like stalkery situations that ever happened to you guys?
Stalkery situations. Hmm. Oh, okay. Yeah, there's like this, which, okay, on a level, I appreciate it. There's this very thorough, well-researched meme page it's just like a Wunderbar meme page.
Mm-hmm.
And this kid just, the archival photos and video that he has, I don't know how or where he got it because I don't even know where it is. And he follows everybody I know.
Oh
Like
wow, full on, hey.
like he started like he started following my girlfriend before like anybody or there was like any information that would imply that I'm like with this person. So it's just this thing of like this person's a fan. I think the meme page is funny, but also like when are you gonna like come take clippings of my fingernails and hair?
How often
Um,
does the meme page post?
sporadically,
Okay.
sporadically.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy it. If this person hears it, I like the memes.
Is it funny?
I think some of it's funny.
Okay. Well, I guess that's a
Yeah.
high honor, you know. Your own
Yeah, yeah.
what's the handle if people want to follow it?
What is it? It's Wunderbar not funny posting.
Okay, solid. All right.
But no, most of it, like there's definitely people that come. We definitely have some like really enthusiastic fans, but it is typically pretty wholesome.
Do you hang out at the merch table after shows, or you just kind of retreat?
I'll go out if I am not exhausted, you know?
Mhm.
Like when I feel like I have the energy for it, then I like hanging out and meeting folks. But yeah, it just depends on like energy levels and trying to conserve what you have to like get through the
For
tour.
sure. For sure. Um, have you ever had a burnout where you're like, man, where you're, you know, maybe you drained all your serotonin and you were like, maybe this is maybe I need an alternate career or just take a massive break or something.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Um, I mean, I think the thing that's really strange about it is, I mean, we got pretty burnt out recently. We did a 6 week tour and then we had 2 weeks off. One of those weeks I was just like fixing the van. Um, yeah, basically just doing admin for the band, then traveling to London, traveled back, did another 2 week tour with a week of driving on either side. So it was like more or less another 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks on the road.
Yeah,
And there really wasn't a pause. It's not, I guess for me, it's not about like stopping touring. It's just we started when we were kids and like you just have to change the way you do it,
when you say
you
kids,
know?
you mean like 18, 19 kind of?
Yeah, I was 17 and Drew and Zach were like 18, 19.
Okay, cool. So the band's been going about 10 years.
Yeah.
Nice. That usually seems like the watermark you want to hit as a band, or maybe even any type of careers, particularly like a creative career, is like if you can stick around 10 years, you can that's when you can turn a corner. I feel,
Totally.
from my end, there was like
I
this
mean,
corner you turn at 5 years, and then maybe you feel some more positive inertia at 7.5, and then 10 years, try to get there.
right. I mean, I feel like that's what I've learned. It's just sort of sticking it out a lot
Yep.
of the time.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I think the burnout thing, it's like also like this last year has been a lot of obviously like I think with a lot of groups, it's like you grind really hard and then there's these critical periods, like maybe a year that some doors open, and if you take the opportunities, you can bring the project to a new level. And it's wise to take those opportunities when they're there, but you see people kind of in that phase,
Mm.
and it's sort of like you just have to get through it. So,
Yeah, well said, man. Yeah, because you grind so long, it's pretty common when those critical opportunities present themselves, you're running on empty.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so it's just a balancing act. I think on the flip of it is like after being on the move for that many years, I'm very I get itchy, if I'm in one place for a while.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, where are we going?
Yeah, I get it. It's a very bipolar lifestyle. So what do you do to chill out when you like you're home and the momentum slows down?
Yeah. Well, one thing that was great was, I think for a lot of people in this industry, the pandemic was the only way that anyone would have been home for that sustained period of time. And I sort of got to figure that out for myself. Um, but for me, it was, I live way out in the woods, and I got really into mushroom foraging,
Okay, nice.
um, yoga, biking, swimming, just like, yeah, really, really sort of like simple, satisfying in and of themselves kind of things. So I think that's the other thing. It's like when music career stuff, it can be a lot of like, okay, you did that, so now you got to do this, and you do that, so you can do that, and it's sometimes can be hard to just like
Yeah.
appreciate the thing just for what it is. So just having these things where it's like the value in it is self-evident, which is music too, but when it's in the context of work, that can be different. So just, having hobbies where you're just like, this is just nice.
Yeah, and just like being in touch with nature, I feel like is an actually a pretty hard thing to do. Um, just for environment alone. I mean, I live in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and the weather's is pretty shot for at least half the year.
Yeah.
So it's like this summer is like it's been a real holy shit summer, and like rediscovering the lake and the swimming and the intense biking every single day. And it makes mental health so much easier. And I don't I'm starting to fear the fall now in the winter because it's easier for the blues to come for you and the
Yeah.
seasonal depression, and you just get out of touch with the natural world, which is probably one of the main catalysts, I think, to why America is just so depressed. We're on this hamster wheel or in this trance of society and whatever civilization has built for us with tech and following data and metrics and numbers and trying to predict trends and living on a screen that
Yeah.
it's totally the opposite of probably our natural DNA or what our brain chemistry is used to, and thus we've got this mental health pandemic. I think it's global, but I mean it's particularly here in the United States and the polarization and culture wars. You know how it is. So it's I don't know what the answer is, but getting more into nature and just like forcing yourself into it, I think is pretty important. It's just like it's kind of like the same like exercise kind of it sucks to start, you don't want to go to the gym and getting out the door is hard, but once you're in there, it's awesome. And the same with
Yeah.
nature. It's like, well, I would rather just eat a bowl of frozen yogurt and sit at my house, maybe play a little guitar or watch a show. But if I can force myself to bike down to the trails, the rest of the day is just going to be phenomenally better.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, and yeah, I mean, I'm lucky in that sense where I live in Western Mass. Like I live in a hill town with like more cows than people in one store. So I'm just, you know, I get to step outside and it's just like, all right, I'm in it. But yeah, I think just get reconnecting with your body and, you know, the world in a way that isn't through a phone or through a news cycle that's telling you everything is fucked. Which, like, yeah, sure it is, but I don't know. There was a phase of the pandemic where, like, I didn't go on social media for a month. I didn't look at my phone, and I went for a lot of walks, and it was just like that. The world is unfucked.
Yeah, yeah,
You
totally,
know,
dude.
it's like my sphere of reality has just radically shifted.
No, it's so true. Yeah. All right, so do you not have to handle the social media parts for the band? Is that somebody else's duty?
No, I do all the socials.
Okay.
Um, for that time, I handed it over. Um, but yeah, man, even that, like, I was talking about that the other day, and it's, you know, I sort of equate it to work and like making a living. So I'm like, okay, I have to do this thing. So it's like the impetus to getting on it, right? Like, I need to promote this record or these
Yeah,
shows or
sure.
blah, blah, blah. And it starts with that, but then you're on there, so you start scrolling, or you're just like, and you want the whatever people to see the thing, so
Mm.
it's effectively promoted, but you're still getting that like hit.
Yeah, doom scroll.
Yeah, and then even if it starts with an intention, it leads itself to like compulsive behavior. You know what I mean? I start out like, oh, I need to post this thing, and then that leads me to just like open my phone for no reason
So do you not have control over
or
your own doom
whatever.
scrolling when you're just going? Do you kind of black out for a second, then you come to like 30 minutes later?
Yeah, yeah, and usually less than 30 minutes, but it's more just like I'm uh sort of like unconsciously absorbing things. Like
Mm.
I'll stop and be like, what just happened? Like, what did I? I've somehow like managed to retain no information, but I feel shitty now.
Yeah. God damn, that
Yeah.
is so it does, man. It captures your it steals your time and it steals your brain and it zaps your serotonin. Man, I've got a
Yeah.
killer comb over going on right now. Check this out. My haircut lady's been she's been sick, so I'm just growing this sweet comb over mullet in the back, and I think I might stick with it.
Nice. I got the mullet going too.
That's pretty good. Like short, is it short on the size? I can't. You got a hat on, so it's tough to
Yeah,
tell.
we got like
Oh
a
yeah, that's solid.
yeah,
Mullets are back, huh?
they're back.
I love seeing like I'll go to the gym sometimes and I'll see like a high school kid rocking a mullet, and I just have so much respect for their self confidence because in high school I had no confidence, and to see like a 16-year-old kid just rocking like a really intentional mullet, it's impressive, you know.
Yeah, totally. I mean, when the teenagers do have confidence, it is brazen.
Yeah, I mean
If
it's
I see a
prob
pack of confident teens, I'm crossing the street.
Oh, good call. I mean, it's funny you say that because just a couple weeks ago I was walking down the street in Milwaukee and I see the pack of like four like 16-year-olds just walking at me, clearly been drinking. It's like it's only 4 in the afternoon, it's broad daylight, and I'm walking by them and I'm like, there is no way in hell these kids aren't going to give me a hard time, because I'm like by myself. I got my paperboy
Oh
hat
yeah,
on, my short shorts, um, and sure
they
enough,
can smell it on you.
oh yeah, they know I'm not going to do anything about it. So this kid who's closest to me, he's got like frosted tips, like the dyed blonde tip hair. Um,
Yeah.
and so I he walks right past me. He leans in like 2 feet from my face and just goes ah and screams as loud as he can. And I was impressed with myself. I did not even flinch. I took it like a champ or a
Wow.
bitch, whatever, however you want to look at it. And I think it got to him that he got nothing out of me. But you can't be doing that shit in,
Respect.
in downtown Milwaukee. It's the fifth most dangerous city in America. People
Is
will
it?
beat the shit out of you. Yeah, you got to be careful.
Wow. Wow, I didn't know. That's funny. Yeah, like something very similar happened to me. I think I was giving off probably a similar energy, and it just was wild. I was like transported back to middle school because I was walking down the street. It's this group of teen boys, and they didn't yell, but they did like the fake out jump at
Oh
me.
yeah, the fake out like I'm gonna fight you, like the juke, the
Yeah,
juke.
yeah,
Yeah.
they juked me, and I flinched, and I was like, "Oh my God." I got caught, but yeah, it's just funny.
Yeah, I mean,
Funny.
it feels like only yesterday, I was in middle school, and that was just unfortunately standard procedure. You just be out like I would go take my bike to a gas station to buy a Willy Wonka Snickers bar or something, and sure enough, you see some teens like totally unprovoked. Fucking pussy, shit like that. Like you go to the
Yeah.
movies with a couple buddies and like you see some delinquents from the opposing high school, and they throw popcorn at your head while you're trying to watch Waterboy with Adam Sandler. It's just never ended, and
Yeah.
I think we had a particularly like a lot of delinquents per capita in my grade, and I went to a really
Hmm.
conservative like low culture high school, so it was I think maybe we had it a little bit worse. I don't know. Who the hell knows? But it's good to be a grown up.
Yeah, yeah. I'm a big boy now.
It's good to be a big kid,
Um,
Brandon.
yeah,
Do you feel like you'll
but
always maintain like some little kid energy even in your old age? Not that I mean, you're young now, but in,
yeah,
in the future.
definitely. Definitely. I mean, I think a lot of that, creative energy can come from like a place of like some usefulness, like some curiosity, some of that brazen energy, like channeling it can be really helpful. And then just the sort of like I feel like I don't know, I'm good at making things when I get into a mindset where things feel new again, like you're a beginner again. So I think in that sense, like definitely. And just also like yeah, sense of humor and lightness, I think that goes hand in hand.
Yeah, it does
Um,
seem like there's like maybe it's an American narrative, maybe not, but it just seems like as you get older, there's like this unwritten rule where you're like to have less fun now. And
mm,
yeah, I don't know what that is, but I was just down at the beach the other day, and there's just this dad like goofing around with his kids. They like grabbed this giant log off the beach and like built a raft out of it, and like it was inspiring to watch because the dad was like, he was like a 5 year old, and his kids were also five, and it was like, how can you have that like youthful, playful little kid energy as an adult, um, without being judged too hard because that's a thing that can happen too.
yeah,
Oh, grow up.
totally. I mean, that's the thing. I think it's there for everybody. Like that inner child doesn't go away. If you tend to it in the right way, then it can come out in a healthy way. But like, because I think a lot of the people that are like, I'm an adult, it still comes out, but it's like in a more destructive way. It's like the people who take themselves so seriously that they're then having a tantrum over, you know, a waiter bringing them the wrong whatever.
Yeah.
But
Well,
it's still a crying child. It's like, so it's just like,
totally.
what part of that do you want to feed? Like, yeah, I think, and that's the thing too. I think as you get older, you actually begin to get. I think like second half of your 20s and 30s, it's like sort of realizing what your childhood was like in a new way, and then being like, all right, so what does that child need? You know?
Sure. Yeah, I just think as time goes on, your environment can really kind of beat you down. There's just more factors that come into play, more responsibilities.
Yeah,
Maybe it's in the form of marriage or kids, and I think less time to yourself maybe has something to do with it, or I don't know, having bosses sucks. Like, I mean,
yeah,
there's cool bosses. I've had cool bosses in my day, but it's just like, you got to go to work. You can't say certain things. You can't wear certain things. And I don't know, maybe that's unnatural, maybe not. But I guess in that regard, I guess maybe the world's loosening up a bit, maybe not. I don't know. But how do you? I want to ask you this. You're dating a lady all the way over the ocean in London. Do you have any good advice for people trying to do long distance relationships?
oh man. um, hmm. I mean, I think I guess it's a lot of communication. Like it has to be a lot of communication because it's not there's going to be periods without the physical presence, so communication becomes that much more important. Um, but that's the thing too. Like I've been touring for so long. I think all of my relationships have, in their own way, been long distance, even if they weren't.
Hmm.
So I don't know if I have a good baseline for that, you know?
I mean, in my opinion, you do, because I don't know, I struggle with this, just not being in one place very often, and I think sometimes I think maybe my natural state is more single, and I like just being by myself, and um, I don't know, being able to just pick up a paintbrush or a guitar and a song whenever, and write or whatnot. Um, but I also worry about that because I've not, especially recently, haven't done a great job of, like, I haven't been able to like maintain a long relationship, and deep down I do feel like humans natural state is with other people, so I don't know.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think striking that balance can be difficult. I think with making things, it can be like that's a relationship in and of itself. And I think it can be difficult when you're with someone and you're seemingly pulling away because you have to go do this thing or maintain this your creative relationship with your work. Um, whereas, a lot of people, you go to your work, and when you're done with your work, you're home with your people, with your friends, your family, your loved ones, whatever. Um, so it's just like it's one more factor within that, it's like maintaining the romantic relationship, the friendships, the
Hmm.
family, uh, and then also tending to like that creative relationship that will also dry up without proper attention.
Yeah,
Um,
well said.
so I think, I don't know, for me, I think it's just been a lot of being honest, I guess, and um, letting people know that one doesn't negate the other. It's like, I want this, I want to be with you, and I want to give time and space to this other thing that is also a part of my life.
Yeah, totally. Is your lady, does she have a creative job or what?
Um, so yeah, she works in like fashion. She models and teaches yoga, and she just did a creative therapy or art therapy course and has been messing around.
What is art therapy? I still don't know.
A lot of it is just like what you would call like grounding techniques. So a lot of dance can be a form of art therapy, particular kinds of dance like pelvic dancing, because like the pelvis holds a lot of emotion. Um, mm, Drawing with different mediums, like being prompted to draw like an emotion or an experience, and
Okay.
then you're externalizing and containing that, that floating thing into something solid and something finished.
Yeah, okay.
Um, but yeah, so lots of that stuff and
It's like going to the gym for emotions.
yeah, exactly. But that's the thing. I mean, back to the relationship thing. I think more generally, like for a lot of people, there's an imbalance of, you know, you have a romantic relationship and that's it. But like, I think like to feel integrated and healthy, it's like a person needs family, community, romantic relationship, friendship. Uh, like it's a composite image of all of these things. It's not like that one perfect romantic love will save you and change
Yeah. Yeah,
those fundamental parts of you.
that seems like the cocktail for feeling relevant and happy. I think one of my dreams, Brandon, is to like at some point get like a piece of land with maybe like 5 to 7 other houses on it, and then like all my best buddies just live in those houses. And then it's just like an open door Sesame Street policy where you're just like, oh, I got some free time. I'm gonna go hang out with Scotty or I'm gonna go annoy Otto across the lawn, and I think that would be pretty fun.
Yeah, yeah. I I feel that. I feel like every time we're on a tour, I'm always like running into a friend who's fantasizing about that on Zillow,
Could be something.
like some corner of you know rural Wisconsin or something.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
this is the place. We got the fresh water and less people
yeah,
for now. So, dude, Brandon, you're an awesome dude, man. This has been a really good time talking to you, and I feel like also been therapeutic on my end. So thanks for the time and the nice vibes.
yeah, yeah. Of course. Thanks for having me.
You got any dates you want to punt or anything?
Wundabar live at the Sinclair in Boston, September 15th, and Wundabar live in Burlington, Vermont at Higher Ground on September 24th.
Brilliant, dude.
Get to the gig.
Hell yeah. All right, much love, much respect. Thanks, Brandon.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me, Brett.